What's going on, everybody? My name's Alvin, and this is the Uncomfortable Three-Way.
I'm Matt.
I'm Dick.
Call me Johnson.
That's Johnson, our special guest of the night.
What's Johnson's topic? What's he want to talk about?
So, I came over here and I had a little idea that I wanted to bring to the boys.
Okay,
We're going to talk about the death penalty.
the death penalty.
The death penalty and how it's viewed in society and how you could either
Okay.
make it better or worse.
Well, I mean, if we're like Texas, we put an express lane on. I mean, that's all I'm saying. They're like 2 years, you're done, roast it.
No, you sit on death row.
we just fucking shoot people.
Like,
What do you
ever,
mean?
No, Texas was like, no, we ain't giving you forever. You got 2 years to get your affairs in order, and we're cooking your
What?
ass.
So they're like
2 years?
expedited the
2 years?
process.
Like,
They
ready to
expedited
go.
the
Honestly,
process.
that's like
What the
way
fuck?
better. That's like better for the person on death row who in other states would have to sit there for
Well,
like 70, 80 years.
Well, there's a lot
Yeah.
of people that are on death row, like that aren't supposed to be on death row.
or they're there for very stupid reasons.
Or they'll sit there for like 50 years, and then like somebody will reopen their fucking trial or their case, and then be like, "Oh shit, oh they're innocent, dog."
No,
and it's
no,
like,
no.
Oh, yeah,
so-
there's a piece of evidence that didn't come to light. It's like, dude, you had
Wait,
50
what?
fucking
So
years.
Texas was like, all right, guys.
No, wait. No, like, people that sit on death row for like 50, 60 years, like 20 years down the road, they get like some young attorney who looks at the case and he's like, I'm going to get this man free. And then he does it. Like, he
Yeah.
finds some kind of fucking loophole or
Yeah.
something that, like, lack of
Yeah.
evidence or some shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
And boom.
Well, Texas was like, we're not here to judge whether you're innocent or guilty. That's up for
We're here to fucking
That's
fry
for
you.
God to choose. We're just frying you and saving taxpayer dollars. So I mean,
what is it to keep somebody in jail or prison? Like $2 a day, ain't it? Some shit like that?
no. So it costs like $2 a day, but they charge the state like $26,000 a year.
Yeah,
Per
the-
person?
So, yeah. So when you think about that, like to keep somebody on death row is like $1 million.
That's fucking
It's wild.
ridiculous.
holy shit.
It's ridiculous.
And if they die by lethal injection, that's like another charge tacked on to
Yeah.
See, that seems
Yeah, 'cause they
fucking.
have to pay for the-
that
Right, they have to
seems-
pay for the solution that they put into them.
Yeah.
Does that shit just like put you to sleep?
Yeah.
Or do you like?
It's
So-
supposed
It shuts everything
It's
down.
supposed to be
supposedly.
like the ultimate downer that just kills your organs.
So it's the same thing
Okay.
that you pretty much do to your dog when you go to put him down. Essentially, it paralyzes your organs. You fall asleep, but you literally just suffocate because your
Okay,
muscles
yeah.
won't work.
Yeah, you're,
Alright.
So it's really inhumane when you think about it.
Yeah.
You get like onset rigor mortis and your body like locks up.
Are you
Yeah.
conscious? Like,
Yes.
How
Yes.
long does it take? How long is the process?
Damn.
Like,
from the
I
needle
don't
in my
know.
arm
But
to
probably
pushing
like
the
4
button.
minutes, 4 or 5 minutes.
That's fucking hell.
It's like drowning.
Oh my
Let's
god.
be real. But no, so I don't know, man.
I'd rather
And
just get
people
shot
can't
in the
say
fucking
nothing.
firing squad. I feel like
Because
is
their
more
shit's cut
humane.
down.
I'd rather get hit by firing squad than fucking.
So
They still do that in Wyoming or
well,
something.
when
I'd
they
rather
do
get done
when they do
that
the
way.
lethal injection and the chair, it's not one person. They'll have like 3 to 5 buttons, and everybody
Right,
presses the
yeah.
button at the same time.
Oh my God.
So nobody has the consciousness of, oh, I killed that guy.
Well, it's like random. It's like you don't know which
Yeah,
one's
they don't know
button
which one's
does
actually
it.
hot.
Yeah, right.
So like it's like, and when they're flipping the lever, dude, it's 3 levers that get flipped at the same time.
Yeah.
So nobody knows who actually like fired it.
right.
So I mean, I get why they do it the way they do it, but at the same point, I personally feel like it depends on the crime, but like we can come up with a lot better options.
No,
that extra
yeah,
button.
no,
Absolutely.
Public executions would solve so many problems.
What?
Like,
Yeah,
this
definitely.
one took a different
Well,
turn.
dude, pedophile.
It would in one way, but it wouldn't in the other. Like,
Okay, you're a pedophile. We're gonna cut your balls off,
Oh,
draw
yeah.
and quarter you in the streets.
Oh,
Guess
yeah.
what? People ain't diddling kids no more.
make an example
I mean,
of
that's
somebody.
fact.
Yeah.
People are gonna be like, "Oh shit, probably shouldn't do that."
Yeah,
Oh fuck.
or I'm gonna be twice as sneaky about it, and I'm gonna do it once in my life rather than once a week for the next 10 years. Like
Yeah,
Epstein,
It'll cut down on everything.
we know about you, Clintons.
we know about y'all.
But
Nobody
anywho,
talks
I mean, but think about it. Like, what other ways could we get rid of people? Let's be real. I personally feel like download their fucking consciousness, put it on a fucking computer, and make them live horrible outcomes, or make them live through what they did to people. Like if they rape kids, dude, like literally have them raped as a child in their head like 10,000 times.
That's crazy.
Make 'em
you
live
can
through a hell.
literally make hells. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying like make their own hell. Let's be them. Like fuck it.
I mean, it's getting to that point where you can do stuff.
If
like
you're a
that.
rapist and
Yeah,
you're in
it's
prison,
definitely getting closer.
or rape and murder, dude, like have this person get murdered by being raped to death. I mean,
Holy
I'm just saying,
fuck.
Big squirrel his ass.
bro. Literally, just like
Not
hardcore.
big squirrel.
I feel like if you're a piece of shit and you're there on death row, most of them aren't innocent. And even if they do get out on loopholes in the future, but let's be real, if you got arrested in the 1930s and you've been in jail for 50 years come the 80s, all right, what was the real evidence chain back then? Well, now we have fingerprints and this, that, and the other thing. Should we really release that guy on the fact that we didn't have the information? We could
Right.
we could have done the same thing with the Son of Sam murders. Like, well, he said at the time, but now we could just say he was mentally deranged and let him out on the properties that he was crazy.
What
It
the
was-
hell
but-
happened with OJ? Why did he get let out?
OJ never was really in jail for murdering anybody because the glove didn't have fit, so
Right,
they
yeah.
must have quit. But we all know he did it. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
You really think OJ didn't murder his wife? Like, let's go out there on the
Come
limb.
on.
I feel like OJ did it.
I'm
Oh,
well,
no,
then,
I
then,
mean,
then who the fuck
I would
did
think
it?
he did it.
You know who did it?
Who did it?
Well, no, they said it was just-
Nobody looked for anybody else after him, did they?
Why
no,
would they?
They looked into
Yeah,
his,
because he did it.
They
no,
found
they
the
looked into his father. They said that there was a good chance that his father
father?
would have done it because, like, if you're having bad relationship problems, who are you gonna talk? Well, maybe not specifically, but like if a person is having like really bad relationship problems, let's say they go talk to like their parents about it, or their parents are asking about
And then
it.
they get pissed off about it, then boom, done.
Exactly,
Cut that
like
shit out.
they're nipping it at the bud.
Yeah, but his,
So there was a theory that OJ's father was the one who did it, but I don't know how substantial that claim is.
all I'm saying is like the odds were he killed his wife. Like,
Oh yeah, the odds are incredibly like
Yeah,
against
no,
him.
it's-
it wasn't
yeah.
the boyfriend who was sleeping with her
Yeah,
who killed her.
No.
He was having fun tagging OJ's wife
Right.
living in the nice house, driving the cream soda down the street.
Oh yeah.
So like all I'm saying is like odds were it was him, but he
You
still
know
got
they
away
got
with
his
it.
actual car in Tennessee?
Dude,
What, his Bronco?
Yeah.
why
where-
do famous
where is
people get
it?
away with shit?
It's in the Alcatraz over in Gatlinburg.
The Alcatraz,
They have like
Alcatraz.
the white Bronco.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
License plate and all, the actual one.
the
Yeah.
white and orange one.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
mean, I don't blame it. Like that
They
was
got the
alright.
Bonnie
Dude,
and Clyde
Dude, that thing
thing
dripped.
there too.
Yeah, that shit was the pussy
about
wagon
the
back
pussy
in the day.
wagon?
Oh, bro, yeah. I'm just saying, I'd have sucked it. Fuck. I want that Bronco now. Shit.
Well, but okay, so for the death penalty, if you look at people like Richard Ramirez, who back in the day was the Night Stalker,
Can he
Yeah.
get his car back?
in '85, like his reign in LA, like they finally caught him. For someone of that caliber, I feel like if you were to take the death penalty and kind of change it, pretty much do like a 180 as far as the purpose of the death penalty, because if you go to prison, the sweet release of death is that much better for you. Like you're not gonna have to endure whatever
Yeah.
thoughts that you're stuck with. You're not gonna have to keep living this life of shame. If you really wanted to go after
Even if
these
you
people,
didn't do it, you'd be locked up for years.
Exactly.
So the death penalty does
the
help.
death
some-
penalty is an
yeah.
escape. It's not an end. It's an escape.
Even if you were the one that not to do it, that makes sense
yeah.
in that aspect.
But so like if you caught somebody and you had enough evidence to like explicitly say that they did this, someone like Richard Ramirez, like take away the death penalty. I feel like to really get at this dude, prolong their life like far beyond the mortal limit of life. Like the cost of it is
Life
another
support,
question.
no doubt.
So-
Oh yeah, but
Hook
the
them
cost
bitches
of
up.
it is like a completely other story. But if you were to be able to put this person in a hospital room and keep them alive until they were like, let's just say like 100, 110, and they were fine, like they had no outstanding medical problems, they were basically being forced to be alive, that would be a much worse sentence than death.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go with you there.
Yeah,
Like, at the
definitely.
same point, the cost of taxpayers would be
Oh yeah,
ridiculous.
but that's like what it hinges on, because I mean the cost over time, it would not be worth it.
I feel like the punishment should fit the crime. Like,
Absolutely.
like you out there cutting chicks up, dude. Like I say for like the next,
cut him up.
well, you like slowly though.
Cut like
we're
one
gonna
little
cut your finger off
2-inch
and let it
cube.
heal,
That's
and then we're
I'm
gonna come back and cut the next one off.
Just do
You're
what they
talking
did
fingers,
to
I'm talking cubes.
do what they
Yeah.
did to Gaddafi, like
Yeah.
draw on a quarter, old stick up the butt.
Well, what I'm saying is like if you did it in stages, like say like right now they're keeping people on death row for like 30, 40 years. So like every year you just take a finger. So that's the first 10 years. After that you like take the wrists. And then like slowly until
fuck.
he's like
Yeah,
nothing
holy
but a
shit.
nugget.
What the fuck?
But at that point, that's gonna cost more money to like care for them.
Well,
But that would be considered also manipulation.
well,
And legality reasons they would not allow something like that.
all I'm saying,
Probably not.
well, I'm saying you hack people to pieces, hack them to pieces. Just do it in a slow, painful manner so they suffer. Because the families suffer. Like, how many people did the Night Stalker kill?
Oh god, I think it was more than
Don't know who
10.
the
Well, that's what I'm saying. So there's
Oh.
10 families out there sobbing and weeping because they lost family members. Well, this dude sat in jail,
It's a
eating
serial
cushy
killer.
meals, having better health care than the rest of us. What state did they catch him in?
California.
That dude literally lived better than most people in everyday housing in any other state.
Oh yeah, and what was fucked up about him in particular was that he didn't even die of old age. He died of cancer. He died of cancer in like 2013, and that was not even 30 years after he had killed or gone on his rampage.
Yeah, and at the same point in time, when he died from cancer, he was receiving treatment like everybody else.
He was in a hospital when he died.
That's what I'm saying. So like he didn't really suffer for his crimes.
Speaking of serial killers,
your options are either A, do to them what they did to others, or B, fucking end that shit quick and don't make us pay for it.
when did the Alcatraz prison close down? It wasn't too long ago. Was it 1990s? 70s?
When did it it closed down?
Yeah, I like to say it was in the 70s.
What
like a
happened to all the
tourist
people?
attraction.
Yeah, it's a
now.
tourist attraction now.
Are all the people still alive?
So
Is there
they-
anybody still alive from it
Yeah,
that's
they
been
put them in different
transported?
prisons.
Yeah, I'm sure they sent them to Supermaxes somewhere else.
Who the hell's still alive from that shit, I wonder?
I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch, or probably, I don't know, there's probably a few. Google this shit. Let's see.
Yeah, dude, I don't even know who famously was put in Alcatraz. I know
I mean,
Al
you got
Capone
the-
was there.
Yeah, you got the Birdman guy that had birds flying out and bringing him shit or whatever the
What?
fuck. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
But he had pet birds.
I thought you were talking about Birdman the rapper. Actually, fun fact, I have the same birthday as Birdman.
Do you?
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
February 15th.
Doesn't like my
And-
daddy, baby.
Bro, and Megan the Stallion.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh,
No, there's a lot of people in Alcatraz though, and I feel like a couple of them should be alive to this day.
So
Maybe some of them.
I didn't know Alcatraz began in the 1850s and they were holding military prisoners during the Civil War.
I didn't know that either.
Dang.
Dude, how do y'all feel about Ghost, bro? Like, what's your? Because
Ghost?
they say
Ghost?
Alcatraz is like haunted as fuck and stuff. Like, do y'all believe in like purgatory or whatever people think ghosts are?
Did we
I
get
think
any
so.
information
I
on
think
who's
I do.
alive?
So there's a huge list, but I'm not reading 3 articles.
So
to
there's
tell
a
you
lot of
Any-
people
any,
still
like,
alive.
There's some people still alive. I don't
Okay,
know how many, but
that's
there's
what
some.
I thought.
Are there any like big ticket names that you saw?
None that popped up in the first 3 scrolls. But
Three
so,
scrolls, damn! You were very, very liberal with that.
Yeah,
I would have scrolled once, and been like, done.
yeah, I was like, nothing. Add. Good, we're gone. But it said there are still some alive. So, did you say, do we believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Yeah, and
Um,
if you do, what do you believe ghosts are?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I believe that we all have like an energy inside of us. When you die, that energy is released, and where it goes is unknown to us. Some people call it heaven. Some people say it's hell. Some people say purgatory. I feel like, honestly, like if you're in purgatory, I feel like you're stuck in the human entity like area,
Mhm.
but you are unable to contact in normal means.
Yeah.
And I feel like over time, the
Dude.
more
That's
evil
worse
you
than fucking the
become,
death
and the
sentence.
more
Honestly,
angry-
I read a story one time that was very similar to what you just described. This dude was like a farmer back in like the 1880s, and he had a farming accident and he died. And through some otherworldly power, like his consciousness and his being still stayed benevolent. It stayed on Earth, and he watched his wife remarry. He watched his kids, his wife, all of their kids. He watched them die. All of the generations that came after, they moved away and did different things because over time people migrate. That's just what happens.
yeah.
And he was like in a ghost or like ethereal state for something like 300 years or like 200 years. And when he finally came to, or where the story picks up, he's in this like bizarre modern era, like comparable to like the Jetsons. Like there's flying cars and, like money isn't tangible, it's cryptocurrency.
Right.
And he's just very like at odds because it is nothing like the world he left behind. And he finds like something like a phone or something. And the way the story ends is that he's writing this story on like a computer or a phone or something. And then he uploads it to, I guess, what can be compared to the internet in that universe. It was an absolutely fucking wild story.
That's some Twilight Zone shit, but
Yeah,
think
it's-
about it. So if you
Wow.
become a ghost, and let's be real, you lose track of time because you're just wandering.
Mhm.
All right, and years feel like thousands of years because you're
Right.
literally not sleeping, you're not doing anything.
You're not
At-
eating, you're not doing
You're not
anything.
seeing familiar faces after a certain point.
Yeah.
I feel like at that point is when you become like a benevolent or a hateful spirit.
Right, and
Well,
like
they
you have
got
no
them-
mode of communicating with the
They've
people.
got these people that apparently can see them and shit. Can't they
Well,
help?
they-
But to what
mediums.
extent do you believe people like that?
A
Because
lot of people just write that shit
Exactly.
off. Like, oh, you're a medium.
You can-
or whatever.
you
So-
could use that to your advantage and have a very quick payout for gullible
So
people.
we've all lived in a lifetime, and we've all been in places where you get that fucking hair on the back of your neck stand up, where you
yeah.
feel like somebody's watching you, and you can't see them, and it normally happens in older locations.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but
so,
is that just my human nature to be scared?
I don't think it's human
me be
nature.
on
No,
attack
there's probably
mode.
something fucking there.
Well,
No, well, what he just said, like, is it his human nature? Absolutely, because like things like anxiety, those are like regular human emotions that you feel when there's a sense of danger.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't there be one if we have evolved in a society that either believes or even has the concept of ghosts?
So my grandmother's house.
So we would just be scared because we're
Hang on a minute. Matt just at his grandmother's
Yeah,
house.
so
Let's
what I'm
listen.
Yeah, at my grandmother's house, I have no
Man.
reason to have a fight or flight. I have no reason to want to get out, but experience things like that. And it wouldn't be constantly. It would just be like I'd be upstairs walking through the hallway on the second floor of the house and randomly feel like somebody was standing next to me watching me. And like literally would get that cold chill on one side of my body. There's no reason for me to have anxiety in my grandma's house. There's nothing to fear there. Grandma fed me cookies. She made me fat. Grandma loved me. So like saying that it was the house, I had good memories in the house. It was a great house.
But
so
there
I
was
feel like
issues
that
there, you
entity
think?
there, whatever it was, person or spirit, whatever you want
Friendly.
to call it.
I mean,
Not gonna
I
harm
feel
you.
like that stuff happens to me too. Like I come into the vape shop early in the morning, I'll turn on some lights. I'm a little bit fucking spooked. I'm used to here. It's a comfortable place.
Yeah.
And then, but I get spooked. I'm like, oh, is somebody watching me? Somebody in here? I thought I heard something. Like, it's just.
Well, my thing is, so they actually did testing on the human eyes, and
Right.
the human eye perceives things directly straight on. But out of the side of your eye, you
Yeah,
can catch
yeah.
things in different visual fields that you can't physically look at. So if you turn to look, it's gone.
Yeah.
So like when you see that shadowy figure walk past you real quick,
Right.
and you can't, when you turn to look, it's not there. That's because you're perceiving it from the front of your eye instead of the side of your eye.
Well, they say
So-
cats too. Like cats, cats act
Animals
like they
have-
see
Yeah,
things,
animals
and
do shit
it's
like
not
that.
that there's nothing
Same thing
there.
with
It's just that
children,
you can't
babies.
see it.
So what I'm
Right.
saying is there's so much proof that there could be other entities living on the same plane as us, just not interacting in the proper sense.
Well,
when you
so-
hear
But
that,
there's also so much
on a wall,
proof of
there could
things
be
like
something fucking
Bigfoot
there.
and things
Yeah.
like
Right.
that. But where?
But so the question of like on the same plane as you,
yeah,
I mean, if you are feeling that there is some otherworldly powers at play, who's to say that it's not on another plane? Because there's a big theory that goes around.
that they're stacked.
No, well,
It could be
in
a
way,
fourth
yeah.
dimensional creature.
Oh, well, so there's a theory that says, you know, if you write something on a piece of paper, it's two-dimensional. If you fold the paper
Right.
to where all you see is like the edges of it,
Yeah.
whatever's on that piece of paper can't see you. Like, who's to say that something like that is not at play in the third dimension? Like, there's a fourth, fifth, sixth, and like
Well,
so on and so forth.
So I
kind
was
of.
listening to
But
some
they're
shit.
still human-like
Well,
entities.
Right.
According
People
to science
describe
and
they
stuff.
see.
Right. But like, who's like? It's almost like aliens. Like, we as human beings cannot even conceptualize what they would look like, what they would be
Oh
like.
no, we have like this idea in our head.
Yeah,
but
like
that's, you
we
know,
have like the Hollywood
that's a
ideas.
self-made
Exactly.
idea, you know.
So are we three-dimensional? We're more than that. Because we
I'd
like.
I
say
think
we're
I think it
four.
depends on
No,
who you ask.
No, see,
honestly,
no,
is,
because
yeah.
scientifically speaking, we like to say we're three-dimensional, but 3 dimensions doesn't equate for like gravity, sound waves, all that extra
Right.
shit. So like we're like literally 10th or
Whoa.
12th dimensional beings, and
Damn
all
right.
the rest of the dimensions underneath of us or around us that we're not perceiving, there's more than that. So like technically, if we're 10th dimensional, I don't know that's correct. I'm just using an example.
Yeah, so
I'm
that-
trying to.
So where would the ghost be in that situation? They'd be like,
So-
what,
Well, so
24th?
that's the question. Like, who
24th dimension?
knows?
They
Who knows?
they would be on the electrical field of it because they're an energy-based
yeah, you're
creature,
right.
is what they're
They
saying.
float and they do shit like that.
Well,
They're
it's
not
not
held
that they
down by
float;
gravity.
it's that they're not of physical matter that we can know of in our realm.
Yeah,
Well,
so
so
gravity don't hold
I'm,
them.
I'm trying to remember, like, because if people say we're three-dimensional, like, every dimension is something, like time, space,
Yeah.
distance, something to that effect. I don't remember what the 3 dimensions are that we, like, claim to live in. So, well, even
I
that
don't
is...
know why y'all keep saying. I would claim that I live in a 4-dimensional world.
Well, so what are the 4 dimensions?
Why would you say that?
I just
Why
feel
would,
like.
why would you say something so controversial
Yeah,
like that?
why the fuck would you
give
bring
a
that up?
fuck? That's why.
Well, no, wait, what are the 4 dimensions?
Like, give me.
I mean-
what's your grounds? Like, why do you believe you're in a fourth dimension?
Why I believe that
Yeah,
is just because like I'm rounded. You know, I'm not fucking flat.
What does that
fuck
mean?
does that have to do with anything?
You know, I mean, I could feel tight. I don't know. I'm in a whole different level when it comes to that.
Those pit vipers making you fucking big brain right now.
Chadding out, man. Chadding out.
The 4th dimension is just the fucking
So
the
the
Tate Daddy dimension.
So let's be real. Okay, We are immediately aware of the 3 dimensionals that surround us daily. Basis for that is length, width, and the depth of objects in our universe.
Depth.
So then we have
like time is another one.
Yeah, time, gravity, space, etc., etc., etc. There's literally 7 to 10 dimensions that we're living in right now that we can conceive and we can understand as people, but we're not using that, or they're saying we're not, paying attention to that at this moment. So in 20 years, we could be finding out that we're 50-dimensional creatures because all these other things.
So, like science is forever changing. Like, changes and changes.
But what I'm saying is we are 3-dimensional.
Science is like the ultimate game. Like, it never stops.
So we can see the height, we can see the width, and we can see the depth of the objects in our verse. So that's 3 dimensions.
Yes.
And then time would be 4, and then gravity would be 5, and then light by its own fucking shit would
What
be
about
6.
your fucking taste and your shit? That's what I'm getting at. The feel, the taste, all that shit.
No, those are your senses.
Those
know
are
that's
the
your
6 senses.
Yes, but
the
why
5
do we have
senses.
those senses? Because if you were 2-dimensional, you ain't gonna be able to open your mouth. You ain't gonna be able to taste a motherfucking thing.
Well, no, you would, but
Yeah.
you wouldn't. You would be tasting like paper or the particles that are on that piece of paper.
Are you saying
and
that?
that would be set in stone, though? You know what I'm saying?
Right? Yeah, that would be unchangeable.
We can change that situation. That's where I was getting at.
We can change that in 3 dimensions, like as he said, because we have like length, width, and depth. We can like see far away, and if like let's say like someone rips a fat ass fart in this room right now, we can just walk outside and we're in a different setting.
Yeah.
We don't have to taste the particles on the paper.
Yeah.
We can't just open our mouth and like that's all we can experience.
That's why.
So I'm gonna go on a limb and say that we're in a 5th or 6th dimensional character, but that's minimum.
You say time.
Yeah.
A time. So the fact that we are able to perceive time makes us
another dimension.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What is your tattoo? Is
so
that
gravity.
second-dimensional?
Okay, gravity counts as one of these things.
Okay, that's 2D.
It's 2D tattoo.
Time. What does time do to that skin?
Yeah, but like
No, but gravity is also
good question. It deteriorates it.
We perceive time, but like only.
So it has time too.
We have the construct of time, but time exists without the construct.
Exactly.
Right.
Time will happen no matter what because like this Earth has existed for millions upon
So you can't really count time.
But it's a construct. It's a dimensional construct.
Well, so think about it like this. You can consider it as a human being because we're aware of it. When you look at like a dog or a cat, are they aware that there's a time limit on their life?
Well, maybe not a time limit on their life, but I'm sure that they perceive time. My human has been gone for X amount of time.
Well,
oh my God, they're back. But
okay, so they may be able to perceive
it. But they don't break it down how we do. It's not like my human's been gone for 3 hours.
But no.
Can they think back and think like, wow, there were thousands upon thousands of generations of cats and dogs before,
I hope
and will likely be after me?
No, I don't think it's.
So, and at the same
point,
now you're talking about something that has been influenced by us and our constructs. That dog, before it was part of a pound or wherever it came to be a human's dog, it had no construct of that. It ran in a pack. It ate food. It slept.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't.
It was reduced to a more primordial being.
Yeah.
They perceive time, but not in a way that we do. It's
Yeah.
not
It's
like
not
by
comparable.
hours or minute. It's just like my human was gone really long. This time he wasn't gone quite long last time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's been longer.
It's not comparable to how we as humans perceive time.
Yeah. No, and that's what I'm saying. And without humans, the dog would lose all that concept of time.
Right. It would eventually drift back into that.
Well, no, not without us.
Yeah,
because it would also
it's running with his packs and stuff. It's not counting the days.
Day and night. If it's just living, it knows day and night. It knows what those are.
It takes in its immediate surroundings.
Yeah.
So it sees and perceives things as they're happening. So humans, we have forethought and we have afterthought.
So animals are surprised every time night comes. Every night they're like, "Oh shit, I didn't expect this."
Not necessarily.
Oh shit, they know that there's.
They know that there's a pattern that is well established. That is like day, night,
and that's
how
not
they
a
establish
perception of like time. This time it's day.
Well, no, that is a perception of time, but it's not really comparable to like how humans perceive time.
Exactly.
Because yeah.
But the way that we perceive time may not be the same as like another.
Yes.
So
it's a chain.
Everybody perceives time.
It's
so
a pyramid.
It shouldn't
it's a reverse
be.
Pyramid.
It's a man-made.
It shouldn't be added to the dimensional. It shouldn't add to like what dimension we're in because everything perceives it.
So what I'm saying is, that dog lives in the same 3-dimensional as we're calling it, or 4-dimensional, or 5-dimensional. Just because it doesn't understand it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Like you're saying, Every
Okay.
person on the planet who has autism
So
can't
this
understand
this
this.
this,
doesn't live
this
here.
microphone is 3D, like
Right,
3-dimensional, but this microphone can't perceive time
that
and everything
microphone
else.
is not-
Probably more.
No, it's not 3-dimensional because when I take it off there and drop it, it's now experiencing the 4th dimension of gravity, a
And-
force that is unseen.
And
my
as we're
God.
and as we're talking, and as
The
we're
sound waves
shit.
hitting it right now.
right, and
is
as
another
we
dimension.
talk through it, the sound that's a completely
That's
another
enough right
addition.
there. That's enough right there. Me and
See what
Duke's
I'm
on a
saying?
whole nother level.
The minute you take it and it's subjected to this, like dogs going, oh, gravity doesn't exist. Does gravity still affect the dog? It can only jump
Right.
so high.
Right.
It still gets drugged back to the earth.
Right.
So it's still there, subjected to it, even if it doesn't
Right.
understand it.
And so if you take that way of thinking and apply it to a human being, we could be living in at least a universe that can perceive X amount of different dimensions, but we've only experienced Y amount.
Well, you say also it's like you say the dog. It doesn't
You're
understand.
stuck on-
It experiences the gravity,
He wants to
but
talk
it
about
but
them
it doesn't
dogs.
but it doesn't understand it. So
Yeah, why you
we
so on with the
perceive
dog?
we
He wants to
more
know that
dog-
dog's
but I'm
mind.
saying-
He
He
wants to
likes
pick
dogs.
that shit.
we perceive gravity and we say we understand it, but we only understand it to a degree. Like,
yeah.
Well, you
we
say-
don't
you say
know
we don't
if we knew everything about gravity, then we could defy it, which
Exactly.
we do not.
If we had mastery over it, we
we-
could choose to defy it or find ways to defy
but we
it.
know how. Oh, but we don't know how, so we don't fully
exactly.
understand it.
Well,
Exactly.
yeah, there he
yes.
is.
And
like
the-
we experience it, but that doesn't mean we know everything
So
about it.
let's be real. Gravity could be like literally 8 dimensions on its own.
Yeah.
Like a black hole itself is literally where gravity pulls in and compresses everything.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, we know nothing of them. We've seen them. But I mean, that's like saying, oh, we see the sun and we know everything about the sun. And just because we know everything about our sun, we know everything about every giant ball of fire in the sky.
That's why everything that we can perceive, period, that's why like you have to compartmentalize it because there is no absolute understanding. There is no like, being able to say objectively that I know everything about X, Y, or Z because even shit that we experience daily, we don't know everything
have
about.
no
we
idea
say
about
we
it.
know, but we know to a
Well,
degree.
what
That's
am I-
just human arrogance.
we don't have
when
a
people
full
talk about it.
because people act like we know everything. We don't know anything.
So-
like
And
What we're gonna say-
that plays a part into like the bigger cosmic scale because humans in the grand scheme of things are not important. We are just
No.
we are just
but
we are a living organism.
We place importance upon ourselves as
Exactly.
human beings
But
because
we've
we
covered
need
that.
that.
That's what happens
Okay.
when you as
I'm
a
pretty damn
person
important.
that's what happens when you as a person have sentience and you have awareness and you have perception.
And that's also generational knowledge.
It's a building block
Okay,
and
so
it keeps building.
Scientifically speaking, we've been building science for how many years? The standard of science, 700, 800 years at least.
Yeah.
I'd like to just say that science is magic we can understand.
Exactly,
Yeah.
literally. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be real. Anything that they did back in the day with any sort of medicine would have been considered a science.
It would have been considered heresy. It would have been considered
you know,
wrong.
And you know how much horrible shit came from science? Thanks,
Nobody
Hitler.
was.
No, if you went back in
Thanks,
time
Benjamin
right
Franklin.
now, and did a
Wait,
lot of
our
things-
cat girls came from Hitler's
Actually,
research.
I was gonna say I have like an interesting like tidbit of knowledge that came from like Hitler and the Holocaust.
That's why he was doing the Jews, because they came in sets of twins and triplets, and they were easier to use as test subjects.
They came out and they said, "Hey, we want cat girls now," and he was like, "The world's not ready for it yet." Boom! No, for real. In the concentration camps, I got a chance to go to. I never made it to Auschwitz, but I got to go to Dachau, and they had like a huge class there, and we were talking to the class leader, and she was explaining that every single piece, or at least every building block for modern science when it comes to hypothermia, it was tested on the Jews.
Yeah.
Because Europe is generally a cold place during the winter, and they were subjected to very horrible treatment in these concentration camps. So a lot of the science studies conducted on them, especially for Mengele, who was like the SS head of he was basically the person over the concentration camps. He did a lot of studies on how cold a human body can get before it shuts down, before the outer extremities stop working.
Yeah.
And so from that research, that propelled human beings to have a lot of insight, especially in modern science, when it comes to hypothermia.
Yeah.
Something that anyone can suffer from. Doesn't matter how severe the condition.
Yeah, well, and that's exactly what they were doing, and it's horrible how they were doing
absolutely.
it. But that's literally where they start genetic splicing and stuff like that. It was the first running steps. where they were trying to make their super soldier. By the way, don't feed people meth. That's not super
Yeah,
soldiers.
No.
They put
They're super
they
soldiers
put
for like 2 days.
amphetamines in chocolate bars.
Yep.
They called it something whack. It was called like
I mean, they do super shit, but I wouldn't call them
Yeah.
super.
Temporarily.
Have you seen the video of the meth head and he puts the refrigerator on his fucking back and then he gets on his bike and
That's like 10 years old.
I know,
Yeah.
but like
In fact,
what?
it's still amazing.
Dude,
Ooh,
I
it's
wa-
still crazy.
I watched a meth head put 3 weed eaters on his back and ride his bike down the street the other day. I ran into him in the store and he was like, "Man, I gotta get these weed eaters down the road." And I was
They'd
like,
be motivated as. I wish I had that much motivation without the meth.
I don't think it's motivation that drives them.
It's meth.
Why don't they scientifically figure out a thing that is in meth to make it for
called
most?
Adderall.
It's called
Yeah.
Adderall.
I'm saying,
Adderall is
like-
one molecular combination away from meth.
But it doesn't give you the.
So you go to the doctor and you get to keep your teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it does give you the. Have you
Yeah.
ever
Yes.
taken a
Have
you
70
ever-
milligram
Well-
Vyvanse?
Well, what about?
I've heard stories of motherfuckers beating Halo 3 on Legendary with like a Guitar Hero controller on Adderall.
I don't understand that because I've taken Adderall and it doesn't make anything.
That's
It's
'cause you're
different.
ADD.
I know.
It's subjective. Like it does different things to
They need
different
to make
you're-
a compound for people like me that could feel that.
Well,
heroin.
Yeah.
That's
So
your
let's be
option,
real.
bud.
The truth is, if you have ADD and you take Adderall, it slows everything down so you can focus.
Right.
Even if
Where
you
if
do
you-
math, it's not going to do that big
If
of a
you
difference.
if you don't have ADD or ADHD and you take that compound, it gives you energy.
yeah.
So if
Right,
you're like
you
me
get
and you're
juiced.
ADD, but you've been forced your whole life to focus, it literally will make me drool on the floor and count the polka dots on the ceiling. I ain't doing shit. I'm lazy
Yep.
as fuck. I can focus on whatever I'm doing, but compared to normal where I'm texting and working on something and then going over here and fixing this and doing that and doing 12 things at the same time, now I'm doing one thing, but I'm doing it to the ultimate efficiency.
Doing it to like
Dude, I
beyond the
do-
limit
We
in
need
which
to
you
get
should be
Matt-
able to
Matt
do
back
it.
on
I
Adderall.
feel like when I
Yeah.
take Adderall, I can achieve anything I ever wanted to achieve. I can do it. I can get
quit advocating
anything
for drugs,
done.
dude.
That's literally meth minus
But-
like the
But,
proactiveness.
but it's bad. Don't do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, don't
No, wait, there was
don't
like a
trust
whole-
your
Don't
doctors.
do meth.
There was a whole
Don't
King
do-
of the Hill episode about Adderall. They gave it to
Man.
They gave something to Bobby, and he's sitting in the kitchen, and he's like, "The milk's about to turn."
Yep.
He's like, "There it goes."
Yep.
He
Li-
can just like hyper focus.
Yeah, literally it's horrible.
I
'Cause-
mean, dude, I've heard stories
well,
of like
I'm in my 30s,
The
dude,
sweat
and I've never
somehow
had any of that stuff. My parents were like old fashioned; they just beat me and made me do things. So
Right.
I gained focus, but being able to do multiple things at the same time. And now, if I took that, I literally turn into a drooling monster. Like I'm not drooling, but like I'd sit here and look
No,
at the
he'd be
ceiling
drooling.
tiles, and I start counting them. I'd be like looking at these walls, and I count the ridges in the walls, and I'd be like, oh, there's 3,472 ridges in the walls by my mathematical equation. And they're like, oh,
Dude, I've heard
okay.
stories of people like stacking Cheerios on top of each other, and
Yeah.
so they get like
Yeah.
an unnatural amount of Cheerios.
Because you can just do it.
Yeah,
like
and-
your brain's just like everything's calm, like everything's good. I have
you
all
say,
the
but
time
for
in
me,
the
that's the
world
most
to do
awkward
it.
feeling in the world because like I'm so pressed for time all the time, and I'm so used to doing multiple things that once I focus on one thing, like the next day I'll feel like shit. I didn't get anything done because I would have been able to get 10 things done.
I feel like I focus on
now I
so
did
many
one.
things, I
Like-
don't get shit done.
like
so
I'm
it's-
supposed to clean the whole car, dude, but I spent 6 hours polishing that one rim to get every
But god
imperfection.
damn, it looks good,
Every
bro.
fucking molecule of
Oh,
dirt.
bro, that thing is like so waxed and shiny that you could literally walk over it and like you breathe on it and it condensates and runs off. And I grab the rag, like it's bad. I can't do it,
This man was geeked.
dude. Literally, I was horribly geeked and it was not fun. I was like, dude, I could have got the whole car clean. I could have done changed the oil, could have changed the tires off, did it all by hand with a ratchet, and instead I sat here and cleaned one rim.
I feel like uppers are fun the first couple of times, and then you're
Nah,
like,
it's a downer for me. That's the problem.
see, for me, I don't like the sweat and I don't like the shaking, and then like after like a couple hours, I'm done. But then like the drug isn't done, and I'm still don't want to be so awake. And dude, downers are the way to go. That's,
don't know,
if
like-
you.
Okay, hold on. Let's save the
Did-
uppers and downers for next time,
Yeah,
boys.
we're not.
We're running out of time here
But god
tonight.
damn it, I want this topic bad.
Next
man.
time, bro. Next time, we'll drag you back and talk about the ups and downs of uppers
Oh
and downers.
man.
Yeah.
Because before we get off of it, I'm the complete opposite.
Yeah.
I would much rather do an upper.
Yeah, nah.
Dude, depress me. That's all I'm saying.
Depress
Yeah, I
me,
love
baby.
it.
That's literally what you give me. Adderall, it depresses me. I smoke weed and I'm up. I'm good. I'm happy. Let's get shit
Yep.
done. But like, you give me an Adderall, dude, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, nope, I'm gonna sit on this couch and count them speckles on the walls. Did you know that in the hour and a half of this episode I've been watching that there's 76 people with red hair?
It's like cool, dude.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
Yeah, literally, it
But no,
draws
it's
out my
great.
downside.
I love to play fucking video games, and if I take an Adderall, I turn into fucking Mega Monster Beast, bro.
Bro.
I'm duking on all these
Bro,
kids.
if I'm gonna play video games on Adderall, I'm gonna play Minecraft, dude, and the house I built is gonna be
It's
OG.
gonna be fucking extravagant. It's
yeah.
gonna be flawless.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do it in like 76 minutes, and it's gonna be ridiculous.
I get on an Adderall, and I'm like, can I get
I'm gonna be like,
55
by the way,
fucking
I
kills
don't
in
know if you
under
guys
3
do or not,
minutes?
but in Minecraft, you can make plutonium if you add these 36 things together. That's what I'm saying.
You're
like,
gonna be nuking villagers.
yeah,
like, huh?
exactly. The skeletons can come after me. I'm just gonna melt them.
Huh?
But anyway, this has been the Uncomfortable Three-Way, and we appreciate your views and everything. If you guys like us, like and subscribe, share us out. We're
Drop some
everywhere.
comments.
Find us on Pornhub.
I'm the fourth guy.
He's the fourth guy.
Skrrr.